school district in Michigan is warning parents about a book that's going to be sold during their upcoming book fair. Now, as you guys can probably remember from your school experiences, grade school experiences, Scholastic is going to be part of this book fair, and they're going to sell one version of Captain Underpants. It's a running series of books, and apparently this particular book is going to touch very, very briefly on a gay theme. All right, so Rockford Public Schools in Michigan warned students that the 12th and latest installment of the popular children's book series Captain Underpants features one of the two main characters traveling 20 years into the future to find he's gay and married to another man. Now, I should note that this is not the crux of the book. Like, that's not the only thing that the book is about. It's not a gay-themed book, but it touches on that small gay relationship briefly. Another thing I want to note is that this is not a book that's going to be, assigned to the students. They don't have to read it. It's just part of the Scholastic catalog, and should parents want to buy it for their kids, they have the ability to do so. Now, Rockford Public Schools released a statement about this to the parents in the school district, and remember, these are elementary students that they're specifically communicating with. They said, within the plot of this story, there is a very brief reference to one of the featured characters traveling 20 years into the future to find he's married to another man. Our philosophy is to be as transparent as we possibly can when dealing with parents and their children. It was brought to my attention yesterday by an administrator coordinating the book fair. I try to be consistent and wanted parents to know. The superintendent also continues to say that at Rockford Public Schools, we value every person that steps foot into our buildings. At the same time, we believe that our parents deserve to have the background information related to material that may not align with the values of many families. Now, on its face, maybe it seems like an innocent attempt of the school district to protect the traditional values of parents. But this is not an assignment for the students. This is just one book that's included in the catalog for the book fair, should parents choose to buy the book.
It makes sense all the way up to that final statement when it says, so that a child will not select a book that is contrary to her or his family or community values. Right? All the way up to that, you're like, okay, this is fine. There's no difference at this day and age when gay marriage is legal. It's no different than back in the 60s when, the reaction that people have to gay marriage is no different than the reaction that people had to interracial marriages back in the 60s. And I've pulled up a number about that as well.
Oh,
Actually, twice the amount of people accept gay marriage in America now that it's legal than the amount of people back in the 60s that accepted interracial marriages.
Interesting.
When it became legal.
So there are still a ton of Kim Davises in this country that don't agree with marriage equality. And so is it the school district's responsibility or obligation to warn parents about one brief mention of a gay relationship in a book?
No, I mean, here's the thing, though, is I get where they were coming from. Like, they wanted to say, okay, this is in a book, whatever, whether we agree with that or not. But instead of saying we encourage families and teachers to take an active interest in what their children are reading, why don't you say we encourage parents to talk about all of the diverse families that exist in our country and all the beautiful ways that this can manifest and blah, 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 and have an open discussion with kids who are reading Captain Underpants who are like, 11 years old? You know what I mean? Those are discussions that you should be having from a way younger age to talk about the, extremely diverse family system that we have in this country and how great it is and what they can expect. And then when they're reading that book, we don't have to release statements like this.
Yeah, maybe I come from a radical position on this, but I don't think that gay
No, I'm just kidding. That was a
joke.
That
gay relationships need some sort of warning, right? Like, hey guys, trigger warning. We're about to talk about a gay relationship.
Incredibly radical.
Like, there's nothing unnatural or weird or objectionable about a gay couple. Right. And again, this isn't a book talking about gay sex. It's just a book that briefly touches on a gay relationship. That's it, okay? It's an age-appropriate book. Gay people exist. We need to stop shaming them or hiding them from kids because we're afraid. There's nothing to be afraid about, okay? Sexuality is not something that's learned. Sexuality is something that we're born with. So if you're worried about your kids turning gay from reading a simple book about a gay that touches on a gay relationship, then you are very misinformed and very ignorant on this issue.
Not even turning gay, but I think a lot of parents are concerned about talking to their kids about this topic at an early age. Hello, you don't talk about this as mommy and daddy at, you know what I mean? Like, you don't wait till they're 13 to talk about that. Why wouldn't you introduce that idea to them at a younger age? And by saying, you know, we want to make sure these aren't contrary to your family ideals, then you're insinuating that there's room for it to be contrary to your family ideals.
Right, right.
You're putting it out there.
That this is a controversial thing or something to be worried
Another
about.